Look, let's be honest. The term data privacy sounds incredibly boring. It sounds like something a lawyer would say to put you to sleep during a deposition. But it's actually quite simple and frankly terrifyingly important. Think of it like this. You have curtains on your windows, right? You don't want just anyone peering into your living room, watching you eat cereal in your underwear, while you binge watch a show about competitive cheese rolling. Data privacy is basically just digital curtains for your online life. It's about having control over who gets to see your personal information, what they do with it, and for how long they get to keep it. It's the fundamental right to be left alone, even when you're connected to a device that is, by design, not leaving you alone. Now, your personal data isn't just your name and email. Oh no, that's just the tip of the iceberg. It's your location, your search history, the things you buy, the videos you watch, the people you talk to, and even how long you look at a picture of a sad-looking cat. It's every little digital breadcrumb you leave behind as you wander through the internet. Each click, each search, each like adds another piece to a giant digital puzzle of you. A puzzle that companies are desperate to get their hands on, solve, and then sell to the highest bidder, who will then use it to sell you a slightly different brand of cat food. It's a whole ecosystem built on watching you. The problem is, for the longest time, we've been walking around the internet with our digital curtains wide open. We've been handing over our data for free, often without even realizing we're doing it. We sign up for a free service, click I agree on a terms and conditions document longer than a CVS receipt. And just like that, we've given a company a key to our digital house. We've essentially invited a stranger in to rummage through our digital sock drawer. And let's be clear, what they find in there is not just what brand of socks you prefer. It's a detailed profile of your habits, your interests, your fears, and your desires, all neatly packaged for commercial exploitation. So, when we talk about data privacy, we're talking about reclaiming some of that control. It's about demanding to know who has our information and what they are doing with it. It's about having the power to say, no, you cannot have that piece of my life just so you can try to sell me a self-stirring coffee mug. It is the ability to draw a line in the digital sand and decide for ourselves what we share and what we keep private. It's not about hiding or having something to hide. It's about having the simple human dignity of personal space, even in a world that's constantly trying to invade it. It's your data, and you should be the one in charge of it. All right, let's talk about the main reason your data is so valuable. AdTech. That stands for advertising technology, which is a fancy term for a sprawling, complex system designed to track you across the internet and show you ads. Think of AdTech as a nosy, slightly creepy roommate who follows you from room to room, taking notes on everything you do. You look at a pair of shoes online, and suddenly, that same pair of shoes starts following you everywhere. It's on your news sites, it's in your social media feed, it's even peeking at you from the sidebar of your weather app. That's not a coincidence. That's AdTech in action. And it is relentless. Here's how it works, in a nutshell. When you visit a website, a whole auction happens in the milliseconds it takes for the page to load. This is called real-time bidding. The website basically shouts, "Hey, I've got a visitor. They're in their 30s, live in Ohio, and have recently searched for how to get wine stains out of a white carpet." Then hundreds of companies, the data brokers, instantly bid for the chance to show you an ad. The winner gets to plaster their ad for a carpet cleaner, a new bottle of wine, or maybe even divorce counseling right in front of your face. It's a hyper-specific, lightning-fast auction for your attention, and it happens thousands of times a day. This entire system is fueled by your personal data. AdTech companies build incredibly detailed profiles about you, often without your explicit consent. They use things called cookies and other trackers, tiny files that websites place on your browser, to follow your activity. It's like they've attached a little digital GPS tracker to you. They know you visited a travel site, then a car review site, then a forum for Basset Hound owners. They combine all this information to create a startlingly accurate picture of who you are. This isn't just about ads. It's about creating a permanent record of your behavior that can be bought and sold. And the scary part is how much they can infer. Your location data might show you frequent a specific church, clinic, or political meeting place. Your search history might reveal your health concerns, your financial troubles, or your deepest insecurities. This isn't just information, it's the raw material of your life. AdTech companies take this sensitive data, package it up, and sell it to anyone who's willing to pay. including other companies, data brokers, and potentially even governments. It's a massive, multi-billion-dollar industry built on the simple premise that your privacy is for sale, whether you like it or not. For a long time, the internet was like the Wild West for data. Companies could pretty much do whatever they wanted with your information, and nobody really stopped them. It was a free-for-all, and we were the buffet. But thankfully, the sheriff is finally starting to ride into town. Governments around the world have begun to realize that leaving massive corporations to regulate themselves is, to put it mildly, a terrible idea. And as a result, we're seeing new laws being put in place to give people some of their power back. The tide is, ever so slowly, starting to turn in favor of the actual human beings using the internet. A huge example of this is the GDPR, or the General Data Protection Regulation, in Europe. You've probably seen its effects in those annoying but necessary cookie banners that now pop up on every website, asking for your consent. The GDPR is a big deal because it established some fundamental rights for citizens. It says companies have to be transparent about what data they're collecting and why. It gives people the right to access their data and even have it deleted. It basically forced companies to stop treating user data like a pile of gold they could just plunder at will. It made them ask for permission first, which, as it turns out, is a revolutionary concept online. That momentum is spreading. In the United States, states like California have passed their own privacy laws, like the CCPA and its successor, the CPRA. These laws give consumers similar rights to know what information is being collected about them and to tell companies to stop selling it. More states are following suit, creating a patchwork of regulations that, while confusing, is a clear signal that the anything goes era is coming to an end. People are becoming more aware that their data has value, and they are starting to demand better protection. The conversation has shifted from what's the harm to what are my rights. And it's not just about laws. There's a growing public awareness, a kind of collective hang on a minute moment. High-profile data breaches and scandals have shown everyone just how vulnerable their information is. People are getting tired of being tracked and manipulated. This public pressure is forcing tech companies to change their ways, at least on the surface. Companies like Apple and Google are introducing new privacy features, like blocking third-party cookies, which makes it harder for AdTech companies to follow you around. It's a long fight, but for the first time in a long time, it feels like we, the users, finally have a fighting chance.
Step one, wake up, brother, gonna rise with the sun.
So, how can you protect yourself in this digital landscape? It might feel hopeless, but it's not. You don't have to become a hermit who lives in a cave and only communicates via carrier pigeon. There are simple, practical steps you can take to reclaim some of your privacy. Start by looking at your browser settings. Most modern browsers like Firefox, Safari, and even Chrome have built-in features to block trackers and third-party cookies. Turn them on. It's like putting a no-soliciting sign on your digital front door. It won't stop everyone, but it will deter the laziest of data snoops. It's a small click for you, but a giant leap for your privacy. Next, be mindful of app permissions. When you install a new app on your phone and it asks for access to your contacts, your location, your microphone, and the soul of your firstborn child, stop and think. Does this flashlight app really need to know where you are at all times? Probably not. Go through your phone settings and review the permissions you've granted to your existing apps. Be ruthless. If an app doesn't need access to something to function, revoke that permission. You are the bouncer of your own phone. Don't be afraid to kick out the troublemakers who are getting a little too grabby with your personal information. Another easy win is to use a privacy-focused search engine like DuckDuckGo. Unlike Google, which tracks your searches to build a profile on you, DuckDuckGo doesn't store your personal information or follow you around with ads. You get to search for embarrassing rashes without having ads for skin cream haunt you for the next 6 weeks. Also, consider using a virtual private network, or VPN. A VPN encrypts your internet connection and hides your location, making it much harder for websites, your internet service provider, and AdTech companies to track what you're doing online. It's like wearing a digital disguise. Ultimately, the most powerful tool you have is your own awareness. Knowledge is power. Start reading the privacy policies, even if it's just the summary. Pay attention to what you're agreeing to. Talk to your friends and family about it. The more we all understand how our data is being used, the more we can collectively demand better. Protecting your privacy isn't about being paranoid, it's about being proactive. It's about basic digital hygiene. By taking these small steps, you can start building your digital curtains, take back control, and navigate the online world a little more safely and a lot more sanely. Your data is yours, and it's worth protecting.